Hi everyone, welcome back to the Denied by the Crossbar podcast. I'm your host Daryl, and today I'm here with Nicky O'Shea, TikTok, our special guest. How you doing, my friend? You all right?
Yeah, all good. Brilliant after yesterday's result for
Good result
Fulham.
for you guys.
Yeah,
Coming back
yeah,
into it,
yeah.
guys. We're nearly at 800 subs on YouTube. We're trying to get to 1,000. When we get to 1,000, we're going to give a giveaway of merchandise. So please get following on YouTube if you can, and support the podcast, please. Okay, so it's a weekend of draws. All we've had is mainly draws. We had 3 wins out of 10 fixtures. So let's get into it, Nick. So we'll start with Chelsea 2, Bournemouth 2. Not really a great game. Few goals, but we know what really happened. All the Chelsea talks really about Maresca getting sacked. What do you think about that, man?
Well, I mean, it really did come as a shock to me, but when I delved more into the Maresca saga, I mean, what he was saying on press conferences, you can't really be saying things like that. There's certain situations where you just got to keep your mouth quiet, and he didn't do that on that occasion, and subsequently he lost his role at Chelsea Football Club for that. I think Maresca, I think he's a good manager. Um, but yeah, like I said, he needs to keep his mouth quiet and sort of focus more on performances on the pitch and what's going on instead of getting too tied up in the media.
Yeah, I think from a few weeks ago when like you said, he opened his mouth, started talking against the club, he wasn't getting the support. I think from then that was the start of the nail in the coffin. You can't come out against the same. Well, we know with Nuno, same thing with him. You can't come out against your own board. Keep your mouth shut. We've all got to be humble sometimes. We've all got problems with our managers or our bosses or whatever. You've just got to put your head down and do it. And the thing about it is, it's not even like they've been firing. They've been inconsistent this season. We know what they've been like. Their form's been up and down. Okay, we know he's won the Conference League and the World Club Cup, but in the league, they've not been performing, man. Not with the amount of money he spent, Nicky.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think that the 2-2 draw against Bournemouth, they should be winning that, especially at home. To allow Bournemouth to go in front inside 6 minutes at the bridge. The bridge is meant to be a fortress, especially under previous managers like
I agree.
Conte and Mourinho.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, definitely. But there's been rumblings going on for a few weeks now. To be honest with you, I've heard there's been things they're saying there that he's been playing players after they come back from injury too long, so they're getting more injured. He's had problem with the backroom staff. Did you hear about the statement? The statement Chelsea released. They released a statement saying there's a feeling at the club that he has a lack of mental fortitude and emotional maturity. What a stinging statement that is for an outgoing manager, eh?
yeah, I mean, it's not looking good for him in the media. I wonder what his next job will be. I've heard he's been linked with Man City, but
Mm.
we'll have to
Do
see
you
at the
reckon
end of
though?
the season.
I
Nah,
reckon. I reckon
no.
it's one of them ones where you know you might be going out at Chelsea, so his agent starts putting these rumors out about the Man City talk and all this nonsense. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I think Chelsea were kind enough to give him a stepping stone because
Mm.
his only other club before that was Leicester, and before that he was number 2 at Man City.
Yeah.
So yeah, he should have been more humble, more kinder, and chose his choice of words.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'll be honest. Even after he got Leicester up, I was never. I remember discussing it with a few people on podcasts. I've never really thought he's a good manager. He's okay, but he got Leicester up. And I remember some of the Leicester fans were saying when he left, they weren't saying, "Oh God, we've lost a bloody top manager." There, someone was saying, "Well, the football was dire anyway. We just about made it." They weren't really happy with his performance as manager anyway. And he's got like a bit. I don't know. Maybe he comes across a little bit old school sometimes. I've heard him. I remember this earlier on the season. I'll never forget when he came out and had to go at Reece James. And I'm thinking, mate, that's your club captain. You can't be having a go at your club captain who's born and bred at the club. Do you know what I mean? That's not the right way to get people on your side.
Yeah, I mean, a manager's supposed to defend players, not really throw them under the bus.
Definitely,
Um,
totally agree.
yeah, and even when he was manager of Leicester in the Championship, their performances weren't really convincing. So
Yeah. I never really thought he's a manager that can win the title for Chelsea. I never thought he's a good manager, maybe a cup, like I said, he showed he's a cup manager. I don't think he's that type of manager that can get him over the line in a title race anyway. But they've moved on. So favourite to replace him is Liam Rosenior. He's only in his 3rd year of management as a full-time manager. It's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a big game. Can he manage those egos, those big personalities in that Chelsea squad?
well, he has done well at Strasbourg. I mean, the French league is completely different to the Premier League in terms of, standards, player ability, and yeah, you're going to be in the media a lot more than what you are in League One. But yeah, I think if he does make that step up from League One to the Premier League, I think he's a good manager, to be honest. I think he's brought a lot of players out of their shell, and especially when he was at Hull, he got. I don't know why he got sacked from.
They did a right thing about mid-table, and he still got the sack.
Yeah, crazy. I mean, that's just the way it rolls in the Championship. You can go one season fighting relegation and then being up there in the playoffs, and still you can lose your job. Um, but yeah, do I think that he can make the step up? Absolutely. But we'll just have to see. I mean, Chelsea have been linked with a few names: Oliver Glasner, him, and even Fulham manager Marco Silva, which I hope not. But
Marcus Silva's been linked with all the big clubs over the years,
yeah,
eh?
yeah.
He's still there. You're still hanging on to him. But yeah, it'll be
Yeah,
interesting to see if Liam Rosenior can step up. Like I said, he started at Hull. I thought he did a quite good job at Hull. Got the sack. Been at Strasbourg. Got them into Europe last year, but they're still just hovering in the top, mid-table top six. It's a big step up, like I said, from Lincoln, But it'll be interesting. Listen, I wouldn't mind see another British manager getting a chance in the Premier League at a top club. We don't see it enough in my eyes for our league. We don't have enough good managers. We've got one top manager around English, and that's Eddie Howe. So it'd be nice to see another one in a top role for give him a chance.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, why not? I mean, both of those, well, Strasbourg and Chelsea, they're both co-owned, so I
Yeah.
would have thought they would have had tabs on Rosenior and yeah, looked at his progress throughout the season.
Yeah, I had a good pal of mine that's he's been championing flipping Liam Rosenior for the Fulham job since last year. He said if Marcus Silva left, that's who he'd have wanted to come into at Fulham. It would have been like he
Yeah,
seemed like a Fulham appointment, to be honest with you, doesn't he?
yeah, he's ex Fulham as
He's ex
well,
Fulham, well, yeah,
so
ex Fulham guy, yeah.
yeah. So I think he would know the ethos of the club, having played for us, and his father as well played for Fulham as well. So
Oh yeah, I forgot
yeah,
about his father dad played for you
yeah,
guys as well years ago.
yeah. So it's
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
in the
yeah.
blood,
Okay.
really.
Yeah, that's interesting actually. I forgot about that. Well, we'll have to see what happens to Chelsea, see who they appoint. But yeah, I still think there's so much talent in that squad. But I think whoever comes in, unless they sign they've got some great young talents. I think they've got too many players there to where it's hard to pick your best
Yeah,
side. I think what they need there, I think they need more experience. They missed that
y-
mark, that Thiago Silva, that older head, that
yeah. The
Jordan
crucial
Henderson
sort of
type.
the crucial leadership. Yeah, crucial leadership
Yeah.
skill. Yeah,
They've got Reece James, good player, solid English player. Is he captain material? I'm not having a go at him. I'm not saying he isn't, but I mean an elder statesman. How old is Reece James? 26 years old. He's not old. Do you know what I mean? I think they need someone like you said. Look at someone look at Shaka at what he's doing at Sunderland. Look at Jordan
oh yeah,
Henderson at Brentford. They're leader of men. That's what I think. That's what they need at Chelsea. Like I said, they miss that Thiago Silva type of player, old head. He's been there, done it all to just push them along. I think they need a couple of older heads in that team for them to be really successful.
they're kind of missing that sort of crunch player who can come on and change the game dramatically. I
Yeah.
don't think Chelsea have that at this moment in time.
Yeah, I think they've got too much potential in that squad. That squad's full of potential players.
Yeah, and
Potential
it's
can
not
go
quite
either
clicked.
way. you know,
Yeah,
you know
it's
what I
not. It's
mean?
not. It's not quite clicked yet. So that's why where they are in the table, and they're not quite challenging for the title.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, they've got some fantastic players there, but I think they need some couple older heads and a bit more molding, a bit more cohesive. You know what I mean? Training, teamwork. But
Yeah,
yeah, we'll have to see
definitely.
how they get on, bro. Okay, we'll move on to Nottingham Forest 0, Everton 2. Forest have lost their last 3 games in a row now. Since Sean Dyche came in, I thought with his defensive mentality, he used to be a defensive coach, he'd be able to galvanize that back four. And they've got some really good players, and I'm still shocked that their form's still so inconsistent.
Yeah, I think you're right. Obviously, sacking Ange was the right call, and they brought Deitch in. When he first came in, they got a couple of good results together, and I think teams above were a bit worried that they may drop below Forest, Fulham. Um, but yeah, in the last 3 games, they've really gone downhill. No attacking intensity, defense lackluster. Sort of no, leader in the team who can,
Mhm.
galvanise the team. And they haven't really got a goal scorer either. Igor Jesus, he can't seem to hit the back of the net. When he's given chances, they're either
Mm.
flying above the bar or going wide.
Yeah. It's a tough one, really, because there's so many individually. There's so many good players in that team. Me personally, at Liverpool, I would take 2 or 3 players out that out that Nottingham Forest squad and put them in the Liverpool squad. There's some good players. They've got Murillo. They've got Milenkovic at the back. They've got some good players, man. They've got Hudson Odoi. You know what I mean? They've got some really good. Look at Elliot Anderson. They've got so many good players there. Morgan Gibbs White. You know, but the type of football, like you said, the strikers, they're not firing. If Igor's not firing, then Chris Wood, I don't know if he's injured or not, but he's not been playing a lot because the type of football
No.
that he wants to play, he's not getting games because that counter-attacking system that Nuno played suited his style, but it doesn't seem to work with Daesh.
Yeah, he was absolutely firing last season. But this season, chances are not coming by his way really. And that's why they are where they are in the table.
Yeah. Sitting fourth from bottom, and I looked at the next game. The next game's Aston Villa away. I know Villa are going to be fuming at the Arsenal loss, so they're not going to be giving up any points. So it's going to be a tough one. I can't see them winning that other game as well. So it's going to be hard. But Everton, they're a bit patchy as well, but it's a good away win for them.
Yeah, they've got some great players as well. I mean, their youngster Barry, he's coming into a form of his own. Got a lot
Good
of
player.
Everton. Yeah, got a lot of Everton friends, and they really rate him highly. Good young talent, and hopefully he goes on to score more goals, and he maybe get an international call up.
But yeah, that moves us nicely on to it's a game earlier in the week, but we'll cover it anyway. Arsenal 4, Aston Villa 1. I was at the game. And in the first half, Aston Villa could have been 2 up, It wasn't as one-sided as the scoreline seemed. Aston Villa, they had chances. Ollie Watkins had a great chance, and he just skewed it wide from about 6 yards out. And you're thinking, you put that away, all of a sudden, all that uncertainty rises at Arsenal. But he missed it. They went in at half-time, and they came back out, and they were, they trashed him. They literally took him to the cleaners, mate.
Yeah, I mean, I watched the game on TV, and the Villa players did let Emery down in the second
Let
half.
him
They just
down.
sort of they capitulated, and Arsenal humiliated them at the Emirates. I mean, what was the atmosphere like for you, sort of sitting in the stand and witnessing that as a neutral?
Yeah, mate, it was. I'll be honest with you, it was good. The atmosphere, the stadium was bouncing. You can see in the first half there was a bit of,
Yeah,
bit of worry there because they can see what was going on. They can see they're getting outplayed. But second half, as soon as that Gabriel goal went in, atmosphere went crazy. Stadium was bouncing, and to be honest, yeah, like you said, they brushed them away. They deserved the win. It was a good victory, and they deserved it. But the atmosphere in there in that stadium, whenever I go there, it's a really good atmosphere. But on that night, I think they realized how big that game was. They knew if they'd lost, obviously Villa would have been leveled with them on points, So they knew how big the victory was. Yeah, it was a good night,
yeah.
man. Really good.
I think the occasion got the better of Aston Villa, really, especially the whole Emi Martinez saga, as he used to obviously play for Arsenal. And they
Yeah.
just, yeah. I mean, do your talking on the pitch. Don't do too much in the media saying that you're going to be coming for Arsenal, and it's really backfired on him. And obviously, I see the clips after the game of the
Yeah.
fans winding him up at the tunnel and him running back, and yeah, it's all a bit of a media saga, really. But yeah, Villa are going to have to just dust themselves down, go again next week, and try and build that intensity up from the sort of quarter point of the season. Because I remember at the start of the season, they just weren't hitting.
Terrible.
They're really terrible. They're relegation fodder, and now they've really come into their own. A great side, great manager, great fans, and Villa Park's always a tough, hostile place to go to.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for Nottingham Forest to go up there on a weekend. But yeah, like I said, like I said earlier on in that segment there, I think I was disappointed, even though I'm a neutral, I was disappointed because I went there thinking it's going to be a great game, as in both teams are going to go at each other. It's going to be a great game. Arsenal lost the first game a few weeks back. They're going to be gunning for them. But I thought, like you said, after the first half, I thought the players let Emery down. After that first goal went in, like I said, they capitulated. You can see it. They just stopped tracking runners. Even like 50-50s, they'd go in, going half-hearted. They weren't winning the second balls. But like credit to Arsenal, they showed great character and great togetherness to pull through that because, like I said, in the first half, they got outplayed. But second half, they went hard and they got the deserved victory. But I felt Emery was let down. I can tell the way he stomped off. You heard it at the end. He didn't shake his hand. I think that was from him being annoyed at his own team, not being bitter with Arteta. More
No.
like, I know we're better than that, but we didn't show it tonight,
Yeah, I mean the game beforehand, the big build up to it. For me, if I was to place a bet on it, it would be a 4-4 thriller, and
Yeah,
obviously
exactly.
that never happened. So yeah, 4-1 winners for Arsenal, and they should be proud of themselves. Maybe this might be the year that they actually do it. I think now we're getting towards the midway point of the season now, so yeah, can they really start believing, or is it going to be another Arteta bottle job? You never know.
Yeah, I'll be honest. The last few games they have been struggling. The front lines look a bit blunt. And in my couple of podcasts, I don't know if you've seen it, I have said that they've missed Gabriel. They've missed his prowess in their box and in the opposition box. He's such a problem. But let's be honest, he's probably the best centre back in the world right now, attacking and defending. He has been a problem. And I think they've missed him a lot. And the minute they scored that goal, you can just see everything lifted, the crowd lifted, the team lifted. They all had that belief again. Obviously, he's been missing for a few games as well, you know. And I think, I'll be honest, I think that could be the victory that propels them to that title, that gives them that confidence to say, look, Gabriel comes on from injury, first goal in a year, Ben's a nice one in the corner. They've got players coming back from injury as well. Do you know what I'm saying? I think that could be the one that's, like I said, the last few games they've been struggling, but that one team that's 3 points behind you, 4-1 convincingly, that gives you that belief and that confidence in the squad and in the team as well, you know.
Yeah, and Gabriel Jesus coming back into the fold, great striker. I mean, even just a few weeks ago, there was rumours of him going out on loan. So I was hoping, my club will go in for him, obviously.
You need
But
a striker, you lot. We'll come to
yeah,
that.
but I think, I think if he can stay on form and he can stay fit and he can stay in the team, Arsenal have more or less guaranteed got that title in their fingertips, and it's theirs to lose now. It really is.
Yeah, especially with City drawing with Sunderland. We know Sunderland have been really good this season, but going up there and not getting the win, I think it's more or less in Arsenal's hand. They can push on, but I reckon they need to be honest and be realistic about it and realize that Gyökeres isn't really doing it, and give Jesus that starting place and let him go fire them to them goals to the Premier League. 'Cause I think he can do it. I don't think them playing Gyökeres, they're going to win the title with him. I reckon Havertz or Jesus are going to be the ones that's going to fire him to the title. If I'm honest.
Yeah, I'd agree. I don't think Gyökeres is quite acclimatised to the Premier League calibre just yet. I think there's a really good player in him. He was good when he was at Coventry, and he was really really good at Sporting Lisbon. But
But we have to remember that was the
just
championship though as well. Sorry to cut you. That was
yeah,
the championship as well. And that Sporting League, we know that's going to be at least 2 tiers below the Premier League. So that's
yeah,
around championship level or below. Do you know what I mean? You know?
no, yeah, I would agree with you on that. But yeah, we'll see towards the latter ends of the season who Arteta puts into the fold. I think obviously he has to go with Gabriel Jesus now, considering the goals that he's providing in the cup games and yeah against Villa.
Yeah, definitely. I'll have to agree with that. Yeah, I think he's got to be starting Gabriel if they want to win that title. They want to keep ahead without getting pulled into a really big title battle. They want to keep ahead. They've got to play Jesus. You know.
Yeah,
Okay, let's move on to Man United 1, Wolves 1. Very, very disappointing. I've got a good few friends that Man United fans. They were so pissed off after that result. And in the end, they were saying that Wolves could have won it. I don't know if you saw much of that game.
yeah, I watched it. I mean, Wolves didn't play too bad. Now after that draw, they got 3 points. Wolves are absolutely destined for the drop. They did
Yeah,
have a little bit of a horrible clanger, Mosquera back pass to Jose Sa and nearly went horribly wrong, and Man United could have won the game from that. But yeah,
right.
Wolves sort of, I think they took that game as and got nothing to lose, and they've come away from a point. Man United fans and Man United as a whole would be really disappointed to come out of that with nothing but a win. You have to be beating Wolves. They
Hmm.
are the team to beat this year. I think everyone's looking down at the table, and when they've got Wolves, it's easy 3 points.
Yeah.
So uh, Amarin should be quite embarrassed about the performance. No, seriously.
But yeah, I agree. It's just that team last week. He surprised everyone. He went with a back four against Newcastle. They beat him 1-0, kept a clean sheet. He moved away from that wedded formation, that three at the back. This week, you're playing Wolves. It's time to experiment. So they haven't won a game, 18 games. You're at home in front of 70,000. experiment a little bit. Go with, play it again. Let's see if we can do it too. Back-to-back clean sheets. It's only Wolves. He changed it again, goes back to his wedded back three, and they end up they end up drawing and nearly losing the game. It's disappointing. A lot of Man United fans are just pissed off with it, to be honest with you. Especially when they see it looking quite good against Newcastle in that first half. They look really solid. But with United, like it's been since Amarim's come in, one step forward, two steps back, but he brings it on himself. He just brings it on himself, and I think that's what they all see, and that's what the problem is.
Yeah, I think Amarin's the architect of his own downfall. He switches up the team too much. I don't
Yeah,
think he knows his best starting 11. Um, Players sometimes he plays players out of position, and
too
that's what's cost
much.
him, and that could cost him his job ultimately because the Man United hierarchy may you know at the end of the season decide to go with someone else. They might look at another manager and think, should we go with that option or do we keep hammering in a job? I mean, he's been given more than enough time now to sort of one, steady the ship, and two, build. He's been given a big backing as well. Man
Yeah,
United, all Man United managers get a big backing. I just think the
they do.
club has been sort of poison chalice ever since. Well, you could say after Ferguson left, but even as late back as David Moyes being appointed after that, I just think it's just been poison chalice since then, really.
Yeah, but what gets to my nerves, what grinds me with these United fans, or just United as a whole, is they always moan about the managers. But bro, they get backed. And not be funny, I support Liverpool. We've just spent 400 million. Not being real, you're a Fulham fan, so you're not spending any minute.
No,
United managers, they get backed. They get backed. Every manager they've had, they get 300 million, and they get backed so much, and they still moan about the ownership and about this, but they get all their managers have spent more than 300 million every single manager they've had in the last how many
yeah,
years?
and they're going for the big names. They're going for the Casemiros. They're going for
Yeah.
the Onanas of the world. Obviously, he's gone now, but yeah, I mean, it's just flop after flop after flop with Man United.
But that's bad footballing decisions and bad decision
Yeah,
making. They're not getting backed, and that's what pisses me off because okay, we spent 400 million this year. Up until this year, we've never really spent any money like that in my lifetime. We've spent the most we've ever spent is probably like 80 million, 85 million on Nunes. That's still a lot of money, but we ain't spending like City or Chelsea or even Arsenal. They spent 100 million on Declan Rice, and Man United, who are constantly spending 78 million on players. They've just spent what? How much was it? 180 million on just three strikers. Now, I personally think they spent that money wrong. I thought they should have invested in the midfield. That's where they lose their game. They lose their games in the midfield. That's where they get run through all the time. Especially the formation that he wants to play. That's I've said in the Premier League that's not going to work with the midfielders that they've got, and they should have invested better in the midfield, and they haven't.
yeah. Sesko, big disappointment, I think, this season, especially for the money that they've spent on him.
Yeah,
Um,
Cunha's
yeah,
been good, and Buemo's been
yeah,
all right, but I reckon the Sesko money could have gone in the midfielder and
yeah.
a bit more legs in the midfield.
Yeah. Cunha's been one of their sort of standout signings. He always was going to be, really. Um, there was a player there at Wolves, and
Definitely.
although he fell out with the fan base, he still put in, his performances. Yeah, seen him score a couple of good goals against Fulham. So
I hear you, but yeah, we're gonna have to see about that. See if Man United, if he goes back to that, sticks with the three and goes back to the four, where, like I said, he got a good result last week. Leads on to another disappointing result. My team, Liverpool against Leeds, it was 0-0. Very, very disappointing. We looked lackluster. We looked void of ideas, and it's just another disappointing result. Even though we've been getting a few wins, 3 wins in the last 5, but they haven't been good wins, bro. They've been just getting there. Like you said, against Wolves, for instance, last week, 2-1, just about, not good enough.
yeah, I mean the thing is with Liverpool, they are unbeaten. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think it's by before
Five,
October.
six.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I mean, the results there and the score lines there, but the attractiveness in football is not there. I think maybe I don't know. I could be wrong. Maybe Arnie Slot is not the right man for the job, or he might have lost the team. He didn't.
Yeah.
He did inherit a really good squad from Jurgen Klopp. Won the league in his first season, which obviously you'd expect him to do. But this
Yeah.
season, I think dropped off massively. And I think a lot of Liverpool fans would probably be disappointed with Slot's performances as late.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not even what it is. It's it's like he's started to change it, but when he should have been changing it, he wasn't changing it. When he should have been dropping Salah 2 months ago, he wasn't. He just kept on playing him and playing him. So when you want to see a manager being decisive and earning his money, he wasn't doing the right things. When everyone's got his back now, then he decides to drop Salah and tries to isolate him. He was playing Dominic Szoboszlai at right back. We've got two right backs in the squad. Fair enough, they were injured. We had Joe Gomez there. You wouldn't play Joe Gomez. He's playing our best midfielder, Szoboszlai, right back. And then when he saw everyone's chanting for Joe Gomez, he brings Joe Gomez in, and Joe Gomez, guess what, has 3 amazing games. But he's just not making the right decisions. And a lot of Liverpool fans are still calling for his head. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's gone at the end of the season. If I'm honest with you, the football's dire. The build-up's too slow. It's not good enough. And you know what makes it worse? It's that 400 million that we spent in the summer. If we didn't spend that much, you could say, the team's going to be stagnant. But you've spent 400 million and they've not spent it in the right way, in my eyes.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I also think I don't know if you'd agree with me on this. I think maybe that Alisson is past his best.
Yeah, I agree. I
I,
agree with that.
I, I don't think Queven Kelleher should have been sold in the summer, but I do agree that Queven wanted to go out and play first team football, especially with World Cup playoffs with Ireland coming up.
Love Kelleher.
So yeah, great keeper. I love him
Love
too.
that guy.
Being Irish, I love him too.
Yeah,
So
love that guy,
yeah,
man.
yeah. So a shame he went to Brentford. But I was saying to a lot of my friends, if Leno would have gone, or we would have sold him or anything like that, I would have brought Queven Keller at Craven Cottage. It would have been a great addition to our squad, definitely. But he's done well. But yeah, Alisson, I think, yeah, more or less reaching the end of his tenure, and he's been fantastic for the Premier League. He's been one of the best goalkeepers. He's been up there, specifically in the last maybe 20-25 years as one of the best goalkeepers I've watched in the Prem.
Yeah, definitely. I think, like I said, I think he is coming to every season he misses, I don't know, a third of the season through injuries, and he comes back. It takes him another month or 2 months to get into full flow again. Constant, problem with his hamstrings. He's been amazing for us. He's been probably my best keeper our best keeper in my lifetime. But it comes to an end. Everyone comes to an end. We all know that. We know what it's like. You got the same problem with Tom Kearney right now. He's coming to the end. You'd love him to stay. He's your captain, but we know what's going to happen.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
All
Tom's
right,
a
we'll
legend.
move. Yeah, Kearney's a legend for you guys, no doubt. Okay, we'll move on to last game. Your team, Crystal Palace won, Fulham won. Obviously, they took the lead through Mateta, but you lot came back. We're just talking about him. Your guy, captain Tom
Yeah,
Kearney, comes on and gets the equaliser.
yeah, great forward pass from, I believe it might have been Smith Rowe that set him up. Could be wrong. My view from the away end was absolutely non-existent.
Yeah,
Just
yeah, he was at the
literally
game.
see,
Yeah,
see the ball just ripple the net. Yeah, Palace's first goal came from, just Jorge Cuenca going down too easy, rolling around on the floor, and actually the decision went against us. I think a lot of our fans were moaning about the fact that, Jorge Cuenca just yeah, he went down too easy and he made too much of a fuss of it, and the referee just booked him.
oh,
And then
really?
seconds later, Mateta slices it in for Palace, I believe. But I think Palace are a really good side. But at the moment they can't really finish and they're not on form. I think the result was sort of fair enough. We had a chance in the 91st minute to win the game. Timothy Castagna smashing it goalwards, and Dean Henderson,
Henderson made a
pulling,
great save. I saw one of them at the
yeah,
end. Yeah.
pulling off an acrobatic save. I'd be really surprised if Dean Henderson's not called up to be number one for England in the World Cup this summer. I think it's between obviously him and Pickford, but Dean Henderson.
I
I
would go with
think,
Henderson. I love Henderson.
yeah,
I think Pickford's got a mistake in myself, but
yeah. Watching him yesterday, great. I mean, great goalkeeper. And Palace are really good defensively. You got Lacroix and Mitchell. Good team, really good
yeah,
team.
yeah, I
Um,
think they've done really well. I think what's hindered them this year is being in Europe.
oh,
That
massively.
Europe that their squad's not big enough, and Glasner said it a few times. And I think over the last few games, you're seeing that it's starting to take its toll on them. Like I said, they lost last week as well. They haven't won in a few games. Lost to Tottenham last week. I thought you lot had the better chances yesterday. You lot could have won it yourselves as well. In the end.
Yeah, I do believe that. we don't really score many goals because Jimenez is our only striker, and we've been forced. Well, Marco's been forced to play him every single game. I love Raul Jimenez, I really do.
I love
Best.
Muniz, man. Muniz is in the crowd yesterday, I heard, with you
Yeah, he
guys.
was. Yeah, yeah. He was a couple of rows
Love that.
behind me. He was a couple
Yeah,
of rows behind me. I couldn't get to him. I've met Moniz on a couple of occasions. Really, really lovely,
nice.
lovely individual, and a lot of time for the fans. Um, but yeah, Ray always a workhorse. He's not a prolific goal scorer, but do you know what? I admire the fact he's come back from that head injury and he's been
Mm.
consistent. Last season, 12 goals. This season, I believe he's on 4 or 5. And he gives 100% for the Baz. That's all I can really ask. But Fulham, if we're to move forward, we really need to go out and get a striker. I mean,
You need a striker.
we're looking at Ricardo Pepi from PSV. An
He's
American
American, isn't he?
international.
He's American,
Yeah,
American player. Good
yeah,
little player.
American
I've seen him
international.
before.
Yeah,
Good player.
every American we seem to buy seems to be good for us. You know, you like your Robinsons, your Tim Reeves, your Clint Dempseys, your McBrides.
You're going back to McBride's all the way back, you know?
Yeah, yeah, your Bocanegras. We've got
Oh
loads of
God, I forgot about
yeah,
Carlos Bocanegra. Bloody
yeah,
hell.
yeah. We got
Jeez.
loads. We got
You got
loads of
loads of them.
American legends. Yeah,
Love that. But moving forward, besides a striker, we know you need to be honest. You needed a striker for the last couple of years. Let's be honest. You know, what other
yeah.
areas of your team that needs strengthening? Do you reckon for Fulham?
I think we need, that sort of creative midfielder. I think Smith Rowe's coming into a form of his own. I've been really impressed with
He's been good. He's been good of late.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with him the last 4 or 5 games. I was a big critique of Smith Rowe over the last 2 years. I turned around to a lot of my friends. I said, what a waste of money, £35 million, and he's playing like that. But to be fair, he hasn't looked fit. When he has played in previous seasons, but his numbers have been decent. He scored 4 or 5 goals. He's doing well this season. He seems to be enjoying it more.
Yeah, I think this is the best. I think since he's come to you, like this is the most fit I've seen him look off late. I mean, fits
Yeah.
and form as well. This is the best he's looking the last few weeks since he's been at you for like a year and a bit now, probably. You know.
Yeah, he's definitely stepped up since the Nigerian boys have gone on international duty to the AFCON.
Yeah.
I've been really impressed with him. I've been really impressed with Jorge Cuenca. I think Jorge Cuenca and Anderson
Good
as a
player.
defensive partnership is quite solid. And then you've got Robinson, who's come back into the fold now, and Kenny Tete, another great player as well. And then you've
Unsung
got
hero, Kenny Tete. I love that guy.
Oh, big time. And you've got Castagno, who can sort of fill in, around the 65, 70 minute mark, as defensive cover. I mean, we're missing Ryan Sessegnon due to injury.
But Harry Wilson's been amazing as well. You've had players that's had good form. It's just I'll be honest. I thought earlier on the season you've had a few VAR ones that went against you, Man United. I can say straight away a few dodgy VARs, but you've had a good bit of form. You've been unlucky in a lot of those games. You know, Harry Wilson's been good, man. I love that guy. Ex-Liverpool guy, obviously. You know, I always keep an eye
Yeah,
out for him.
he only scores worldies as well. I mean, Tottenham away, I was there. Great left foot he's got.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
Wand.
only scores bangers against Palace. He just every time he sort of hits the ball, it's going to be a worldie of a goal.
Yeah.
It's been great to watch him, and I think we need to tie him down to a 2, 3 year long-term deal at the club. I think he deserves it, and I think Marco would agree and wants to try and get him tied down.
So, what do you reckon? Last thing. What do you reckon, Marco? Because I've been hearing things that they offer a new contract. He's not signing until he gets assurances of players. What's your take on that? Or what have you heard around the club? Because I know you're in there.
Yeah, I've heard a lot. I've heard that the owners are trying to sort of negotiate a contract with him, and he wants to be backed. I just think the Khans need to just pull their finger out and just give him the backing. He's one of the best coaches. Do you know what? With Marco, I have criticised him a couple of times because some substitutions that he makes, I'm just baffled by it. We could be winning the game 2-1 or 1-0, and sort of the 70th, 80 minute mark, he'll take off like Smith Rowe or our attacking
Right.
threat, and he'll bring on, two defensive. He'll bring on Lukic or Reed or players like that. But I'd love Marco to stay. I really do hope he stays. But obviously, if he doesn't, then we've got to look at alternative appointments. We've been linked with obviously Liam Rosenior. I think that's the only name we've been really linked with at this moment in time. But yeah, I think it's 50-50 if Marco stays. It all depends on whether he gets backed.
Right. Okay, I hope he does. Really like Mark Silva. He's it's weird because you don't always get big results against the big teams. You play really well, and against the smaller teams where I expect you to win, you kind of get a little draw
Yeah.
or you get lost, you know. But if you can get consistent form, I think there's easily a top eight finish in you easily. I've always said that about Fulham. You've got a good team there, man. I like it. Good manager.
No, I'd agree. I think we're sort of becoming that mid-table club again, like we was in the 2010s, which is great to see.
Yeah, wicked. Nice one. Nikki, appreciate it, bro. Thank you for jumping on to that. I really appreciate it, man. It's been really good.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
No worries. Anytime, man. Anytime. Guys, if you don't follow Nicky, go and follow him on TikTok. It's Nicky O'Shea. He does some real good live vlogging content. He's a season ticket holder at Fulham for the last 12 years, goes to home and away matches, makes some really good videos. So go and check him out, you know?
Cheers, guys.
No worries, man. So guys, like I said earlier on, we're on 800 subs. We're trying to get to 1,000 on YouTube. Please give us a like and a follow, share the podcast, and thank you for all your support on all the platforms, my friends. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks a lot, Nikki. Appreciate it.
No worries. Take care, guys.
Thanks, man.